Hello, my fellow math students. So we are beginning week 3. So to find the week 3, go to classwork, scroll down to week 3, and click on the tab. So under week 3, I also put in the Game of Life outline. And what this basically is the video I'm making currently, Blit. It's basically an outline of everything I'm going to be going over and what you need to do to succeed for week 3. And it looks like a lot, but that's why we were making this video, so you could stop it, replay it. So I would use this outline as something you could print out or have on the side as the video goes on. This way you know exactly what's happening next. It also has some of the equations and things I'm going to be talking about. You only need to print out 4 sheets. So I know there's a lot of pages, but these are the only 4 you need to print out. And if you don't want to print them out, after I made the video, I figured out you could actually move them into a Word document. And let me show you how. Okay, so basically the PDF that is the week 3 is right here for me. So what I do is I open up a Microsoft Word document. I'm going to make it smaller. Sorry, my kids are screaming in the background. You take week 3, you drag it, and just drop it in. You're going to hit OK. And then it comes up. So if you actually want to just try to type at least some of this just to save paper, you know, you don't want to waste too much paper, you're more than welcome to actually write on. So you got the Game of Life info sheet, that's number 1. The budget sheet, that's going to be number 2. And then the year 1 monthly spending, that's going to be number 3. And then your reflections page, which is going to be number 4. So this is the first paper you're going to need. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where the camera is. You could scratch off the debt part, but make sure to write your name, and I'll talk about the occupation right now. So because this worksheet is from, I don't know where it's from, but it's definitely not from California, because when you look at the prices, they're all like substantially lower than California. So I think it would be a really good idea if you guys picked an occupation you're actually interested in, but let's look up a salary that is kind of the average of the United States. So what I did is use Google, and I just typed in mean average salary teacher. That's my occupation, so you obviously could pick whatever occupation you want in United States. So it comes out with this number, and this is the number I am going to be using for my computation. Your number might be looking different, and that's okay. So my next job is just to go down here and type in teacher as my occupation, and then that number I found, which I believe was 38168. I think that's close enough. That's all I'll use. So just to make all of our lives easier, I feel like everyone should just use 20% tax. That way we all have one number that's similar when we're doing computation. It's a pretty even number, you know. As far as the other things, debt, we're not going to do that because I didn't have you guys do that. Put an X through that. We're not going to do it. So if you made it this far, you will be on step 2 of the outline. So we should fill in these 2 boxes first. How we get the annual salary? Well, that's from this sheet. So our annual salary is right here. 38168 is mine. Yours is going to be different. So I'm just going to plop it in here. 618, is that right? Oh, 168. And then we all agreed, well, I agreed, that our tax rate is going to be 20%. So our next step is to actually calculate the amount of taxes. So what that says is out of this much, out of my annual salary, if I have to pay 20% tax, what is the amount of that? So what is 20% of 38,168? So what we need to do is actually convert 20% into a numerical value. 20% is a fraction of 100%, right? So if you use 100% being just the number 1, 20% would be 0.2. So I'm just going to write it down here, 0.2. So your next step is actually to multiply 0.2 by your annual salary, whatever it is. So my annual salary is 38168. I'm going to multiply it by 0.2. 0 if you wanted to, and that's how much tax I'm going to be paying if my tax rate is 20%. So I'm going to put that number in here. Let me scoot this over. Okay, and 633.6. Now, if you see that 0.6 and you're like, what's the deal? You know, it means 60 cents, not just 6. So 60 cents. So now I have to calculate my net annual income. My net annual income is basically my salary minus the amount of taxes I paid. So it is actually the amount of money I'm going to have left over. So what I do is I take my annual salary, I subtract it by $7,633.60. So let's do that. It's going to be 38168 minus 7633.6 0 equals. So my net income is 34 and 40 cents. That's what I have left over to be able to plan the rest of my budget. Okay, so we're gonna have to calculate our net monthly income now. So if annual means year, and we want to see is how much we have each month. So since there's 12 months in a year, we're gonna divide our annual income, net annual income, by 12. And it looks like mine is $2,544.53. I'm going to round down because this is not greater than a 5, so I round down. Also, make sure that you X out the debt loan monthly payment. We are not going to be doing any debt calculations. It's a very complicated formula. And I don't... So the next part of the assignment is actually to calculate our own percentages from how much from this net monthly income you're going to spend on these things in a month. So if you read the top, there's a suggestion is not spending more than 1/3 of your budget on housing and to save at least 1/10 of your money, and make sure that you X this out so we're going to actually have more money to play around with than usual. And if you're kind of confused on how to plug in the numbers, you could always take a look at week 2's assignment where they create pie charts for you to kind of get an idea of what percentages you would like to put in. Okay, since I am not going to want to spend more than 1/3 of my budget, I'm going to spend a little bit under, so I'm going to put 30% a month is going to go into housing. I have a big family, so I'm going to pick 25%. Transportation, I'm going to do 15%. And then savings, 15. Extras, 15%. Now, your numbers could look completely different than this. This is just my numbers. When you look at week 2, there's a lot of 30% for housing, so I think that's kind of a good area to be. They're kind of clean, even numbers, too. So what I'm going to do is actually calculate how much this is how much is 30% per month from 2,544. So how do we do this? We type in 2544.53. And we're going to multiply it not by 30, but when you turn this into a decimal, it is 0.3. So we're going to multiply it by 0.3 equals, so that's my housing per month. That would be very nice to see in the Bay Area. And also we're going to round up because there's a 9 right here, so we're going to say it's 36 cents. 36 cents. And you do that same strategy for all of these. So if I'm doing 25%, 2544.53 from my net monthly times 0.25. So groceries, I have $636.13 a month. So I went ahead and just finished the chart. 15% is $381.68, and since these are both 15 for me, I just plugged in the numbers. So next thing you're going to do is complete your pie chart. What I would actually recommend is if you have Word document, you could actually make your own pie chart using these percentages. Or you could do it by hand. I'm not looking for anything completely perfect. I'm not expecting you to have a protractor and get the angles right. Just a rough estimate of how it would look. Probably out of all the things I'm grading and looking for, this is the least of my concern. After you're done with your pie graph, you just need to answer these two questions. How did you determine your budget? Did you make any special considerations? Well, I determined my budget based off what was told of me. I knew that I couldn't use more than 1/3 of my budget on housing. I also spent a lot of money on groceries. That's because I love food. I like to make sure I could feed my family. And then did you make any? Yeah, that would be the groceries. After housing, what is your most significant part of your budget? Why did you make that choice? Well, my groceries. Definitely my groceries are significant, and I spread it out evenly amongst these three things. Just because I think that's really simplistic, and if I did it after a year and I found that I could change something up, I can make adjustments to my budget. So after you're done with your budget, you're now going to be making choices. You don't have to print this out. This is just for you to use, but it is one of the steps you're going to have to use to do step 4, I believe. So you're going to pick what kind of housing are you going to do. So I decided to rent a 2-bedroom. I'm a family of 4, and for me, I need at least a 2-bedroom house. So $900 for that. I am going to pick low cost, a family of 2 with 2 adults. So I am a family of 4. I'm going to pick that. Of course, you're going to be picking different numbers, and I'm going to show you how to manipulate the numbers and do all the calculations. Keep going down and pick what you want. You get to shop. Pick one from each category. Extras. You can pick as many extras you want and your goals. So for the next part, if you haven't already, make sure to look at week 2 assignment. It'll kind of give you an idea of the actual projected difference. And I have also included all the answers for you, so if you were wondering how to calculate anything, the answers are provided below. So we're finally at year 1 monthly spending plan. So your actual is going to be coming from your budget sheet. And sorry that my pages are kind of cut very odd. So you're going to be taking these numbers and just plugging them in to your actual expenses down here. Alright, so I took all my numbers from my budget sheet and I put them in my housing, my groceries, my transportation, savings, extras, and then my total net monthly income I put down right here. The next thing I want to do is actually put in my projected numbers. So when I move up here, what did I pick for housing? I picked $900 for renting a 2-bedroom housing. So what I'm going to put here is $900. That's how much I am projected to spend if I want my 2-bedroom. And then I go up to groceries. What did I pick for groceries? A family of 4 with 2 adults, $706. So for my transportation, I got a minivan. It's $10,000, but it's $290 a month. So for my extras, my cell phone plan. So it's $100 starting plus $60 for each additional line. There's 2 adults are going to need it, so that's going to be $100 plus $120. Oh, for each additional. Sorry, it's going to be $160. So $160, we don't have to do debt. Alright, that's going to be our extras, $160. So I just realized I had more extras. So I forgot there was another page of extras. So I also want a premium TV. And these are monthly expenses. A premium TV is $60 plus internet is another $60. So it's going to be $160 plus $120. So what I did with my savings is I actually just added all of these numbers up and then subtracted them from my net monthly income. Let me show you how. So I'm going to take my net monthly income, 2544.53. I'm going to subtract 900 minus 706 minus 290 minus 280. and I have $368.53 left. So I'm just going to put this into my savings, and I'm going to show you why. That's because that way it's still going to equal $2,544.53. Now, if you actually wanted to put in a different amount for your savings, like hit this amount, you can do that and you'll have a different amount down here, and that's fine. This is all about just learning about spending and different options and how to manipulate numbers for your monthly budget. The next thing I'm going to do is just take this number and subtract this number to find the difference on each of the columns. So I calculate all of my numbers. Again, I took the actual from each section, each category, and I subtracted it. Now you can see that I spent more on groceries and housing than my actual income, but I did save a lot of money for transportation, savings, and extras. And we have a zero amount here, and I encourage you to do this just because I put the rest of my money left over into my savings by calculating all the numbers. So we are only doing 1 year savings calculator, so you're not going to have an amount in savings previously, because that's when you do multiple years, which the assignment originally was, but we're only going to do 1 year. So year 1 savings times 12. So our savings is 368.53. So we're going to multiply it by 12. And we get $4,422.36. So that's how much I'm going to be saving projected with this amount a year. That's how much I'm going to be saving a year. And you're just going to put the same number down here. Oops. 4,422.36. The next thing you're going to do is just answer the question on the bottom. Oops, sorry. How well are you adhering to your budget? So you're going to actually look at this and explain it. Now, I explained that my housing, my groceries, I went over, but I seem to save a lot of money with my other choices I made. So you just need to explain, what did you see? Your last step, and then you are done with this, is just doing the reflection questions. Now, you're not going to do multiple years, which this assignment usually called for. It was like doing this through a 5-year thing. You are only going to be doing 1 year. So you got to just reflect on your 1 year spending, and then you are done. And if you have any questions, I'll be having office hours every Monday, 12 to 3 p.m. I will be available for Google Meets and Google Hangouts, so you could just contact me or email me anytime, and I could get back to you. We could set up a time or a date where we could do a Google Meet, and I could show you by hand how I do calculations. So let me know, you guys. Please communicate with me. That's the only way I'm going to know if you need help or not. Thank you. Bye.